Hello, my name is Zach Preston, and I was blessed with an engineering internship experience at the National Langley Research Center over this past summer. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of who I am and where I'm from, and kind of my pathway in order to get that NASA internship or Lockheed Martin internship, something like that, in the future. So I'm from Huntington, West Virginia. I'm a Marshall University class of 2022 future graduate. Um, I attended Bridge Valley Community Technical College and graduated in 2018 with an associate's degree in applied science of advanced manufacturing technology, and I graduated Wayne High School in 2016. Um, and you can see here, I've got Marshall Engineering. Those are the folks that are, educating me right now, and I completed the Bridge Valley program, and that was a work for 3 days of the week and go to school the other 2 days of the week. Is a partnership with Toyota Motor Manufacturing in West Virginia. It's where I was able to gain industrial maintenance experience, and so real work experience even before I completed my education. And then Steel Dynamics was another local employer that I worked for while I worked at Toyota and went to school at Marshall. That was another prior summer experience before I was able to get a NASA internship. And then the future internship that I'm looking forward to is Lockheed Martin. Next slide, please. So, like I said, I'm going to provide you with an overview of my general life experience and some other work samples. And then, what is a NASA Aeronautics Academy? Tasks, objective, history of the Academy. You're going to meet the team, and how can you be a part of the Academy? And the work sample, a little bit of what I've done. Not able to disclose a whole lot of it since we're pending patent pending disclosure, or we're still working through that for like a wheel design, and we're going to publish a paper in a SciTech conference here in January. And then, my personal reflection from the NASA Academy and, what I experienced, being a part of the Academy and learning more about myself. Next slide, please. So, kind of my pathway here in order to get to where I am today. I graduated Wayne High School, class 2016. I was involved in robotics, Project Lead the Way, Skills USA. I was an Eagle Scout in Boy Scouts of America. I held leadership positions. I was a try-hard in school. I have always been a try-hard in school, which is not a bad thing. And I really didn't end up thinking that I'd be a NASA intern or even working for Lockheed Martin one day. It was just that I wanted to try my very best to graduate high school and do the best job that I could. I always excelled in robotics. We did some Skills USA, mobile robotics, and urban search and rescue. It was like an RC robot. So I fell in love with that. And that's what I really wanted to do, moving forward. So there was a job opportunity and an education opportunity at Bridge Valley Community Technical College. It was a trade school, basically. I was able to get an associate's degree and get my general education courses out of the way. So general education courses are the same at a community college as well as a university. So that's very important to keep in mind. So then I moved on to Marshall University, thanks to Lockheed Martin. I actually worked full time. I had a period in my life where I was out of school for like 6 months, and nothing was becoming of my life during that period of time. It was just look on social media, watch TV, and it was very boring. I'd go into work for 8 hours a day and then come home without nothing to do. So I was like, I don't want to do this life. So I enrolled back in college in January of that year, and also worked full time at the Toyota. And so I was working 16, 17 hours a day, either through schooling, work, or a commute. And it was very long days, but it was very gratifying at the very end of that semester when Lockheed Martin granted me with a STEM scholarship. I'm very thankful for that. And that's what led me to this point here. And so I was able to continue working during that period of time, full time. So it was a very stressful period. And then I had an internship with a steel mill over that summer as well. And then I quit that internship and went to school full time because it seemed like my job then there needed to be to focus on schooling rather than making money. So I've been at Marshall, and I've been a full-time student since fall of 2019, and yeah, I love every bit of it. And there's been times where it's been kind of discouraging because Marshall is not a very well-known school. We're not really established in our engineering program just yet, but you need guys like me in order to reach out and show the world that there's a little diamond in a hard place out here in West Virginia. So I've completed the undergraduate mathematics and physics courses, organized the Formula Student Automotive Engineers Club, and then I began community service advocacy for robotics education. So I went into my local school system and pushed for robotics education in elementary and middle schools. That's really where it needs to be. I started in high school, but giving back to the community, that's kind of what I like to do. I like to do these webinar things and kind of introduce myself and help other people. So next slide, please. So just a general overview of my life experience. I'm a country boy. I live up a holler here in West Virginia, but I had a neighbor that would teach me about manufacturing, welding, using your head, um, running a backhoe, running equipment. I moved from that point to cutting firewood. I was did manual labor, back-breaking work. Maybe that was one of the reasons why I've been uh, stressing about school and focusing that I wanted to do a good job for my life. And then I worked with robotics education, and not really robotics education, but robotics in high school all the way through 8th grade to 12th grade whenever I graduated. I was able to speak during graduation, and moved to Toyota. They were able to send me to different plant locations for predictive maintenance, and one of the pictures here shows me with a welding outfit on and a Toyota industrial maintenance workwear clothing on, and a student. And then I'm in a suit here, basically trying to explain that I could fulfill any role that company wanted me to fulfill. And I think it's really important now for people whenever they graduate high school, and they're thinking about, who do I want to work for? You need to be somebody that's going to be a team player that can do anything. And then the next picture here is at Langley Air Force Base. It's a picture in front of an F-22 demo. And then this next picture here was with a NASA shirt on and hat in front of Lockheed Martin headquarters in Bethesda, Maryland. I want to go check it out over the summer because I was close enough, and so that's what I did. So next slide, please. So what have I done at Toyota? Like I said, I was able to go on trips. One trip was to Toyota, Kentucky, in Georgetown, and it was the largest Toyota manufacturing plant in North America. And I was able to do like a continuous improvement project with predictive maintenance. And just to give you a brief overview of predictive maintenance is you're able to provide real-time data on machine life to determine when failure may occur, and when you could fix that or prepare for that failure by doing reactive and proactive maintenance. I worked in the heat treat area at Toyota, West Virginia, so that's where we manufacture gears for all your Toyota cars here in America. So every one of those transmissions that roll out of there, I was able to lay hands on those gears and cases and all those sorts of parts in the manufacturing machine processes, and it was really amazing. I really enjoyed that experience. I learned how to critically think through processes. Some of the best experience that I was able to gain was technical hands-on experience, electricity, fluid power, all the basis of engineering and like machine design. So one of the calls to fame that I came up with was a coolant valve replacement. So I was able to break down a coolant valve and understand why it failed and how we could fix it in order to save money and reduce downtime, and then improving production processes. So helping others think critically about making changes on a machine before maintenance had to be called out to the machine. But, next slide, please. Then some of the things that I do around the house, like I said, I'm a well-rounded individual. One of the pictures here, I'm in hunting clothes. I took two cardiovascular doctors out hunting one year after my mom volunteered me to do that. And the reason I put this picture in here is because a lot of people They view West Virginians as maybe illiterate or not accepting the culture, and I kind of want to paint a picture that's a little bit different than that. So we believe in two totally different religions, and we was able to go out and hunt and have a good time, and I think that's really important. Moving forward, we live in a diverse world now, so it's important to be able to work with different types of folk and people. Um, and I've got a farm tractor, so I enjoy that type of hobby, and doing work for other people on that excavator there, John Deere, and then some robotics stuff that I've been able to lay my hands on during high school, and even continue to mentor those folks in high school still today. Next slide, please. So here's a little brief description of how I found out about the NASA Academy. So NASA Academy, I was scrolling through LinkedIn there. It's very important, these young professionals to have a LinkedIn account because you're able to get all this information that you may not be able to get through your counselor or your advisor. So I'll flip through here. I saw a post about the NASA Academy. I said, what is this? So I checked it out, and I went to the page here. You can actually apply with this link right here. And it brings you to the Academy app to apply for that year that they are accepting applications for. And the overview was, it's an intense multidisciplinary research program that offers collaboration, teamwork, leadership, innovation, and creativity opportunities. And that was excellent. That's what I wanted to do. I invested great time in robotics in high school and in college, and then also working at Toyota, like I said. And they were looking to build a concept model for a land and air maneuverable vehicle that would be on Mars. We kind of refined that this year based on funding and a little bit of politics, but to build a vehicle that would be able to navigate rough terrain in like the Arctic. So, and I'll get on more of that later, but and it offered like lectures, and I was able to talk to technical experts, subject matter experts with NASA. That was excellent. It was every Friday. We'd have a committee meeting. They'd be able to explain to us, how we needed to approach our project, kind of changes that we needed to make, whether our ideas were good or bad, and then kind of move forward from that. So I really did enjoy the opportunity to engage in real scientists and engineers. Next slide, please. So here you're going to meet the Academy team members. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 members this summer. I got to meet just about every one of them. So the first 5 weeks of summer was virtual. So we worked from our house. And then the last 5 weeks we were actually able to go out to Langley, stay in a hotel, and work with our other Academy team members. And we had a good time to interact with fellow scientists and engineers. They're going to be making the world turn one of these days. So I was glad I was able to make lifelong friends. So a little bit more about the Academy and how you can apply is, so they search for applications from engineering majors, aerospace, computer, electrical, mechanical, and systems engineering, computer science, mechatronics, and applied math and applied physics. So the eligibility for this program is that you're a full-time student and you've completed 2 years of college, and or you could be a recent graduate has a minimum GPA of 3.0 or higher. The summer program was 10 to 12 weeks from May until August. And what made me want to be a part of the team, and how did I know I could be successful on the NASA Academy as a NASA Academy team member? One of the things they were looking for was a community college graduate that had like technical experience, like robotics, and I thought I would be interested and valued on the Academy, and I was used to working on teams with Toyota. Teamwork's a big deal. Being able to pull different ideas together, the engineering aspect, maybe able to calculate and rearrange formulas, but if you don't have like a sense of common sense, to choose wheels, bearings, or different kind of motion and this machine design parts, then engineering skill sets kind of useless. So that's the reason I was able to provide a good I was good at team member for the team, providing that technical skill set or industrial maintenance or reliability. If you're going to send something, this expensive piece of equipment somewhere, you don't want it to break down. So I was able to provide that kind of information. And you can check out more information for the Academy there at that link there. Next slide, please. So what have I done with the NASA Academy? So I put another picture here of all of our team members. This right here, major picture right here on the left-hand side with the Jeep, is actually with a commander. He's a F-22 pilot on NASA Langley Air Force Base. One of the coolest things about the Academy, yes, we do a model conceptual based project, but you also get to go to team lectures, see cool things. We actually was able to witness a F-22 flight demonstration. So it was a fighter aircraft, and we stood out there on the airfield and watched them do flips and turns and rolls, and it was really amazing. Kind of a little bit of insight what we had to do. We used a design process in order to come up with 5 different potential concepts that we could use for to solve our problem. And one of the things that we selected was a 4-wheel drive rotor system, and basically it would act as a turtle, and it was 2 fins. 2 air and props that was on 4 corners. So it was 8 total motors and props, and then inside of that it was like it was protected by a cage, and that cage was made up of like a wheel, and that's really where our patent pending project is going towards there, with an internal wheel design. And then the thing right here on the right, you see a motor and propellers, and this flight thrust test stand right here that was built out of 3D printed parts. But really what we were hoping to gain from this type of research is it's called a coaxial thrust stand, and we did testing on that. But as we put hoops, blocking the props, so it's reducing the thrust that the vehicle is able to produce, and it would reduce the thrust because you need wheel motion, on the ground, locomotion from the ground aspect of it. And so we knew it's going to reduce some of the lift that the air system would produce. So that's one of the things we kind of did some research on, was able to gather some data. And then, I learned a lot about using Excel to solve problems over the summer. Previously, I had hands-on maintenance experience, not a whole lot of engineering experience, so it kind of opened the doors for that. And I have a lot to learn, but been able to apply that through school even this past year, and it's been an eye-opening experience. Next slide, please. So I know that this information may be hard to read, but it's basically a student reflection, my reflection on the NASA Academy. I can't recommend a better program to be a part of. I know NASA, they have this Aeronautics Academy, they have the Space Concept Academy, so be able to check those out. And this is quotes directly from me. I'm going to go ahead and read them. The internship has solidified my goals and aspirations of being involved in the aerospace and mechanical engineering industry. Previous experiences allowed me to learn various technical aspects of the job, but this experience has given me much insight to engineering's design aspect. One of the takeaways that's really good from this experience was, don't let temporary circumstances hold you and your team from accomplishing the unthinkable. And this quote goes to show that even though our project goals or outcomes may have been suppressed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we were still able to accomplish our mission goals. So, and like I said, I've gained lifelong friends there down the bottom right. Next slide, please. And then some other great personal experiences here from the Academy. Since I was close to Washington, D.C., the Outer Banks, in Maryland, Annapolis, Maryland, and Yorktown. And as you can see in the top left, Yorktown battlefield there has a lot of Revolutionary War history there. And in the middle, Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. I was able to go see that, and the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. I also made a trip to Washington, D.C. and hung out with Lincoln. And on my way back home to West Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia, I was able to stop by Blackwater Falls. So, it was an educational experience, but I was able to get to see some sights and sounds. So, next slide, please. So, what are my future aspirations? Right now, I'm currently pending a secret clearance for a manufacturing engineering intern position with Lockheed Martin Space. That's located in King of Persia in Pennsylvania, and they work on the satellites, wiring, harness systems, and PCB printed circuit board design. My future goals is to become a smart scholar and complete a bachelor's degree in mechanical and aerospace engineering from WVU or Virginia Tech. Work for the Department of Defense and select a master's program based on, my interest, following my internship experience. So maybe I'm not done with my education just yet. The Lockheed Martin STEM scholarship, it provides 4 years of college, but I want to be able to, get some university research experience if all possible, and that's one of the reasons why I'd like to be a transfer student here in the near future. But my takeaway advice from this presentation is to dream big and be financially responsible. I never thought I'd be able to get to this point in life, but I always had this desire to work hard and be the best person that I can be, and don't limit yourself based upon what your bosses or coworkers or friends and family want to tell you. You have to have that drive to be somebody one day. So that's all I have to say, and I appreciate your time. And the next slide is just a bibliography from my all the pictures. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll start off with some questions we got earlier.
Sure.
The first question we got is, do you plan on working in the space industry in the future, or do you plan on exploring other industries as well?
So I've got like steel mill experience and automotive experience. And this past summer was aerospace experience with NASA, and I look forward to working at Lockheed Martin Space. And honestly, I'm looking for a full-time opportunity there following my internship. But I may explore some like local industries close to my home area, like the oil and gas industry. But sky's the limit if you work for the government or if you work for Lockheed Martin or Northrop Grumman. So, I intend to pursue that as far as I can go. So, yeah.
The second question we got is, do you believe that conducting undergraduate research is important?
I do think it's very important. That's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to transfer from my current school, because we don't have a whole lot of university research experience. And I see the main thing, high school graduates and high school students need to look for is, the university research. What are they involved in? Are you interested in that? Because that's what's going to help land you that dream job that you always want, that university research experience, or a club, being on a club. So.
It looks like that's all our questions for today. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.